Hi everyone, I'm Chef Leroy and welcome to my cozy kitchen. Well, it's gotten a lot cozier after the last couple weeks here. So we have our pendant lights up finally. Backsplash is completed. All of our outlets have been put in and switches. So it's looking absolutely beautiful. So really, anyway, what I want to do today is I want to do a product review on a food processor that I just recently bought. This is Shardor, is the brand. I can show you that. I wanted to find a small food processor for quite some time. And this one is really slick because it comes with a chute. So I'm going to demonstrate this in a minute because I'm going to work on some vegetables to make some borscht for this coming week. So anyway, I'll show you what comes in the box. Okay. So first thing you get is you get your motor. Okay. It's got a pulse, medium speed and a high speed, basically, or a low medium. It's pretty small. It's got rubber feet, so it sticks nice to the counter, so it doesn't slide around. You've got a bowl, so you can do pestos and puree, small things. It's only about a 3.5 cup, I think it was. You get a cover that goes on top, and I'll show you how this all goes together once I get the camera closer. So this is, I just made a pesto the other day with some black garlic. Worked pretty well, but I'll go over those details in a minute. You also get a slicer and shredder blade. It's reversible, okay? That's how they work. You get your puree blade, which is right here to do your pestos and chopping. It's got guards on it. I'll show you that too. Okay guys, so here's the motor right here. And again, you've got a pulse switch here. This is off with a 0 and then 1 and 2 speeds, okay? You know, it's actually pretty powerful. I did a pesto, like I said, and it worked pretty slick. Now, I will say this, that when I did the pesto, you gotta be careful how much liquid you get in here because it will come up to the edge and it will seep out. It doesn't seal really, really well. But I mean, overall, this is made with pretty good construction. It's got this motor detail in the bottom here, which I like. It's separate from the inside, which will keep this from leaking out. This is how the bowl attaches to the motor, okay? So make sure this black piece right here is toward this black piece in the back, or where the cord is in, okay? Go down slightly in front of that and slide it clockwise, okay? To remove it, counterclockwise off, okay? Just like so. So then, if you're going to use the chute, okay, you'll take this little baby right here, goes on top. That's what pushes the vegetables or whatever you're going to shred out, okay? And then you want to put your slicer blade or your shredder blade, whichever direction you put it is going to cut that way, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm going to shred some vegetables. So I want it this way, okay? Move it a little bit closer. And I'm doing borscht, so I've got carrots, potatoes, and beets. So back in the day, I used to hand shred it, but I'm past that. So now if you're going to use the chute, which is really nice, okay, I'll come back this way. So here's your chute. And if you can see right here, this is slanted this way. So when your chute is on top, and this is that piece that slants this way, your vegetable will go that direction. So you want to make sure that your bowl is slightly in front of it so you don't have your vegetables flying out on your countertop, okay? But I'll show you this. We'll take this back off. And be careful, this stuff is sharp, so especially this little blade here, this is for slicing. I haven't used it yet, but I haven't needed to. But this guy right here, this one is sharp. So they do have guards that strongly suggest you keep them. And just pop them off like this, okay? When you want to use it, put it inside. If you're going to do a pesto of some sort, it has a little drizzle port right here too, which is pretty slick for oil. So this is going to go on just like so, okay? So this port is in front when you put it in. Okay, so I'm going to plug it in, and I'll let you listen to it. So that's pulse. It's pretty strong too, so I'll turn it up. So that's the first level speed. And that's your high speed. So it sounds to me, and I've already used it a little bit, it does a pretty nice job. So again, as you take this off, so this doesn't stay on there really tight. So you want to make sure you're really careful with this. And it won't start anyway if you don't have it connected. But, so turn your top off, pull that off, pull your blade out, take your bowl out. And your ingredients are inside. Again, this is only about a 3.5 cup, which is fine for smaller amounts of items that you're doing. So, okay, we'll pop that back on. So we're going to shred our vegetables. Okay, so I got a stainless bowl here. I'm going to put this guy inside first. Okay, that's your pusher. That pushes your product out. Okay, I've got my shredder attachment. I'm going to flip it over so these are up on top. Set that right on there. Okay, and we are going to put our chute on top. So the chute always is on the left side of your switch. Okay, so turn that on just like that. Okay, give it a test run. Hold the top for a second. Beautiful, okay? Now, because this is small as it is, you have to make sure your vegetables are gonna fit down inside here. Let me push this up a little bit higher so you can see that. Okay, so this guy right here, you gotta make sure your vegetables fit down in there. Now, carrot, obviously, not a problem, okay? But my potatoes and my beets, I had to cut them a little bit smaller. But anyway, let's start with a carrot, okay? So I don't have a carrot cut smaller to go inside, but I'm just going to pulse it for a second. Just like that. So there's my shredded carrot. And as you can see, it shot out of the bowl off to an angle. So you want to make sure that bowl is right at the edge of this side, and it'll go right inside your bowl. So there's my shredded carrot. Perfect. That's it. Beautiful. All right, shredded carrots. So next up, I'll do my beets. Okay, so ready for beets. Okay, so here we go. Now, I'm not going to worry about the size because I've already cut them down ahead of time. You can cut them whatever shape you want as long as they'll fit down in your shredder. That's it. Awesome. Well, looks really good. Look at this. Turn out nice. Okay, let's get shredding. All right, we're getting a little jammed up here. So I gotta clear this out a little bit. So this is my first time using this machine, and it is getting a little backed up here, so beets are clogging it up. So let's pull this off. Again, I'm doing a product review, and I'm not sponsored by this company, but it's a new product for me, and I wanted to share that with you. So I would say for the most part, it's working great. It is getting caught up in this corner up in here a little bit. I'm not really sure why, but there is some product getting by the chute, and it's going into the bowl. It's not a big deal because it's catching everything, but I don't know why it's getting past. So, all right, that concludes the beets. So they're all done here. I'm going to clear this out. So let's slide the top off. Again, it goes counterclockwise to come off. And take the chute out. Clear this out a little bit here. It's got a lot of fine stuff at the top. That's okay, this is all going into soup. The motor's nice and clean, there's nothing on the motor. So the bowl doesn't leak, which is good. And again, this is my first attempt at shredding anything. With these bigger pieces, I just usually slice them up with a knife and throw them in my soup. So, but the beets look great. Yeah, they turned out really nice. All right, next step, we're gonna get to the potatoes, but I'm gonna rinse this out first and we will get going on that. Now it looks to me as you are shredding, it gets down around the edge here if it starts to back up. It didn't do it really on my carrots at all, but it did it on the beets. And I think because the beets got kind of backed up a little bit. They're a little wetter than the carrot. But anyway, that's my only thought on that one. So go ahead and let that sit on there. Grab your chute. Again, it's on the left side of your switch. Everything clips in. Make sure it's all clipped in just like that. Get your bowl slid up underneath this to the side of it. Turn it on. Drop your potato in. Quick look here. Look at that. That's awesome. Perfect. Okay, well, I'm going to finish shredding. And there you have it. That's awesome. Look at that. Okay, as I'm cleaning things up, so I just wanted to give you a little picture of what I found here. So these small pieces of potato are all that are left out of those 2 large russet potatoes that I cut up, okay, or I shredded, which is pretty good, honestly. So then I'll just take my knife and julienne them, throw them in with my other potatoes, which are sitting in water here behind this camera. So, but then what I did want to show you is the slushy stuff that's left in here. So it does pull some juice out of it. So I don't know if that means that those blades aren't spinning fast enough to not get a little bit of juice in there, or if they're just not really sharp. But generally you don't see this very often when you're doing any shredding. It doesn't happen with my other food processor. So, but if that's a small detail there of just this kind of starchy water that you got out of the potato, overall I'd still say for a little tiny machine like this, I think it's great. And I didn't pay much more than $50 for this machine. So again, this is Shardor, what do they call it? A multifunctional mini food processor. Okay. But anyway, let me just go ahead and clean this up and I'll just give you a little bit more product detail. Okay, I'm extremely happy with this unit here. Again, it's called Shardor, okay? Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's got this really cool blue ring on there, so it looks really modern and slick. The parts are really easy to clean. I mean, I think it did a great job. And I did hard root vegetables too, carrots and the beets, right? So I'm assuming that this should have no problems at all shredding cheese. And I haven't tried the slicer part, so maybe we should do a little demonstration and see how the slicer part works. So let's try that next. I got a cucumber. I'm gonna run it through here and we're gonna see how a cucumber slices up. So let's get after it. So I'm going to split this down because I want to see what it does with Half Moon. Slices a cucumber. Just cut down the middle. Okay. I like the English cucumbers. These are a little less seeds in them. Okay. So now we're going to put our machine back together. Okay. So the first thing we do, we have our bowl, put it on top, make sure this black part is toward the cord, and turn it clockwise. Okay. Next thing we need is our pusher attachment that throws the product out, okay? And then here's our wheel, okay? So again, we have our shredder attachment on this side, and we have our slicer attachment on this side. This thing is pretty sharp, so be careful with that. Just put that up on top, okay? Take your chute, slide your chute over the top, and turn it clockwise, okay? Now I'm gonna put the 2 cucumbers together and put them in the bowl, just like so. I'm gonna hold them with my hand. I'm gonna turn it all the way on high and see what we get. Well, that was fast. I don't think that even took 10 seconds. So that was pretty quick. So as you can see in here, it beats it up a little bit. But if you're going to make this into a salad, it's not too bad, but it does really beat up your cucumbers quite a bit. But I'm going to throw this into a salad, so I'm not too concerned. But if I was looking for a really nice look, I probably would hand slice my cucumbers. So there you have it. Slicing with the Shardor food processor. So let's pull that out of there and just kind of, and I'll show you this here. We'll take this apart real quick and I will show you inside the bowl. So it is kind of pulping the vegetable just slightly, but still, is how fast that worked. I'm pretty impressed. Okay guys, I'm back with a little follow-up with our Shardor food processor. Okay, this is a multifunctional mini. So what can we do with this? We can puree things, we can make pestos, we can make dressings with our bowl. Okay, again, it's only about 3.5 cups. We can shred and we can slice. All right, so, and again, if you look on the market, right now, this is the only one, and other than buying an absolute professional model, which I have where I work, and they're expensive. We do shredded cheese and stuff with them. They are probably upwards about, you know, over $1,000 in that area when you buy all the attachments and stuff, because the actual motor does not come with all different attachments. So these chutes are another add-on to those professional models, but this one comes with this. So, is it perfect? No, it kind of can pulp a little bit. It looks like it, you know, it did it with the potatoes. It did it with my cucumber right here. And when I did the slicer on the cucumber, it does slice really thin though. I'm not kidding you. This is like a 1/16 of an inch or something like that. It's very, very thin. So that's probably why it beat it up a little bit too. But functionality wise, I think it's really nice. I didn't have any other issues with it so far. I've done a few things already. It only demonstrated slicing and shredding. But again, like I said, I shredded hard vegetables, which are a beet. Those are one of the harder ones. And I had no problem buzzing through it. So you guys make a choice on what you think. Again, I just like it a lot, so I wanted to share it with you today. Otherwise, you guys have a great day. Go ahead and, you know, hit that notification bell. Give me some thumbs up. Subscribe would be great. And otherwise, Chef Leroy and out.